Hi there, everyone. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you on today, the 3rd of October, 2013, making this video update right around noon Japan Standard Time. Of course, we're still going to be watching our severe tropical storm Fitow, expected to become a typhoon here sometime during the afternoon and the evening hours here on Thursday. And I know yesterday we went through in pretty big detail breaking down the dynamics of setting up and where this storm system is exactly going to be going as it tracks off here towards the north with that high pressure ridge over the western Pacific starting to work slowly towards the west, and then we have this troughing over Japan, which is really going to be bringing us one of the coolest days in and across the Tokyo area since spring on Friday. So a pretty big migratory high coming in behind that as well. Now, how deep that trough is going to be digging down depends on how much it's going to be pulling the storm off there towards the north. If you asked me 12 hours ago, I would say that high pressure ridge was going to push this farther towards the west. It's really wavering between a 12-hour period, and today it looks like it's going to be a little bit farther towards the north. So at this time, I'm really going to take Taiwan off the table. Yesterday, on our Wednesday night update, I said my gut feeling was going to be somewhere between Miyako-jima and Okinawa. I'm still going to stick with that, and it looks like JMA, JTWC, and many of the models are starting to come in more aligned with that as well. Pushing down here just towards the southwest of Okinawa Honto. This is still going to put you guys here in the right front quadrant of the storm system, meaning it's going to be the stronger of the winds. But how far offshore is exactly that eye wall going to be? Well, that is going to be one of the big questions here. And how big is the wind field going to be? Now, if we go off current satellite imagery, there's a pretty decent wind field on this. Extending off the northern periphery, you have the interaction with the troughing off there over Japan, so you have a big wind field setting up there. But also down towards the southern periphery, this banding setting up. And then we have, well, a somewhat faint eye setting up here, and it's a pretty big eye. So some things to continue to watch here on Thursday. Now, the worst of the weather still looks like it's going to be sometime by Saturday morning going in through the early afternoon hours there into the southern Japanese island. And this is actually right around 6 p.m. Japan Standard Time. According to the ECMWF model, Naha would be in the right front quadrant getting battered by these 60 to 70 knot winds. I know we have a lot of military out here, live a little bit farther inland, a little bit farther there towards the north. You would still be getting these typhoon strength sustained winds possibly, but mainly a tropical storm strength with those gusts up to typhoon strength. And then you can see in the northern portion of the island, when you get in these mountainous terrain, actually it really drops off here, only seeing just tropical storm strength gusts. So it all depends on exactly where this is going to be going, because if it wavers a little bit farther down there towards the south and makes a direct hit on Miyako-jima, really these winds are going to completely back off for Okinawa Honto. If the storm system tracks a little bit farther towards the north, it could be a completely and utterly different scenario setting up here. Now I'm going to show you the GFS model outlook. It's that Miyako-jima type setup that I'm mentioning here, a little bit farther there towards the southwest. But the thing with GFS, it has a larger wind field. So there's a lot of different factors coming into play here. Now that was the 12 UTC. This is the 18 UTC, and that model wavered a lot farther towards the south. And yesterday, at the 6, it was all the way down here towards Taiwan. So GFS is just not getting a grip on this. ECMWF at the very least has been consistent, just giving the overall background. Now granted, this is a nowcast, but I really still like to use it. It just shows that troughing dipping down that high pressure ridge off there towards the west. Our storm system's going to follow that gap in between, likely going just towards the west of Okinawa. So really at this time, I know that a lot of the military out there are going through your T-cores. I do think just keep on doing it. There's going to be, at the very least, strong tropical storm strength winds that could toss any loose debris around out, or anything that you leave outside in your yard. And also, it's just not going to be a very safe situation, even given this current track with those severe tropical storm strength winds there in the Naha area, just to be venturing out and about on Saturday evening. I would definitely cancel any plans I have if I was out there in Okinawa and just hunker down and wait for the storm to pass. Miyako-jima, it looks like that's going to be a lot worse weather there for you. The track from JTWC does take really a lot of military bases out of that 50 knot threshold, but it still could waver off there towards the north. I mean, we still have a 48-hour forecast, and we have been very clear about how uncertain this is. But I think at this time, rain bands starting here possibly by Thursday evening into the night hours. Then by Friday, conditions going downhill. And then by Saturday, you're really going to be seeing the worst of the weather as the storm just tracks south of Okinawa. And then off there towards Shanghai, which I know we don't have too many viewers from China, but Shanghai, a huge metropolitan area, and this could bring some very damaging and devastating weather out there. I mean, just take a look at the ECMWF outlook. With the storm system just moving south of Shanghai and some of these cities just down there towards the south, still as a fairly strong typhoon. That is from GFS, actually. ECMWF continues to pull a little bit farther towards the north. And I want to really kind of go with ECMWF because that model has been a little bit more consistent with the storm system, and it just shows a pretty big monster coming on shore off here. So yeah, even around Shanghai, you want to watch out for this pretty closely. So right now, biggest threat areas, southern tip of Okinawa Honto, then off there towards the eastern coast of China. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, though, you can always post them down in the comment box below, or also follow us on Facebook and Twitter, continuing to post regular updates there throughout the day and throughout the rest of the work week here for those of you there into Okinawa and extending off along the eastern coast of China. So stay safe out there, everybody, and thanks for watching.